ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। अग्रहीदासनं भ्रात्रा प्रणिपत्या प्रसादितः प्रजाः स्वधर्मनिरता वर्णाश्रमा गुणान्वितः जुगोपा पितृवद्रामो मेनिरे पितरं च तम्। Somebody can read translation.
These were the full surrender and submission of Lord Ram. Lord Ram then accepted the role of the state. He cared for his father and the citizens. He engaged in their occupation of Varna and Ashram as their father.
Somebody would like to read purport.
People are very fond of pattern of Ram Raj. Even today, politicians sometimes form a party called Ram Raj, but unfortunately, they have no obedience on Ram. It's sometimes said that people want the kingdom of God without God. Such an aspiration, however, is never to be fulfilled. Good government can exist when the relationship between the citizens and the government is like that exemplified by Lord Ramchandra and his citizens. Lord Ramchandra ruled his kingdom exactly as a father takes care of his children, and the citizens, being mobilized to the good government of the Lord Ramchandra, accepted the Lord as their father. Thus, the relationship between the citizens and the government should be exactly like that between father and the son. When the son is in the family are well trained, they are obedient to the father and mother. And when the father is well qualified, he takes good care of the children. As indicated here by the words Swadharma Nirata Varnasrama Gunanvitaha. The people were good citizens because they accepted the institution of Varna and Ashram, which arranges society in the Varna division of Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, and the Ashram divisions of Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. This is actual human civilization. People must be trained according to the different Varnashram occupational duties. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvarnam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vivagasa. Four Varnas must be established according to the varying qualities and work. First principle for good government is that it must institute this Varnashram system. The purpose of Varnashram is to enable people to become God conscious. Varnashrama Purushena Parapuman Vishnur Aradhyate. The entire Varnashram scheme is intended to enable people to become Vaishnavas. Vishnur Asya Devata. When people worship Lord Vishnu as Supreme Lord, they become Vaishnavas. Thus, people should be trained to become Vaishnavas through the system of Varna and Ashram, as they were during the reign of Lord Ramchandra, and everyone was fully trained to follow the Varnashram.
Somebody else will read the next para.
And lawful. That is impossible. Throughout the entire world, there are so many states, legislative assemblies, and parliaments, but still the citizens are rogues and thieves. Good citizenship, therefore, cannot be enforced. The citizens must be trained, as there are schools and colleges to train students to become chemical engineers, lawyers, or specialists in many other departments of knowledge. There must be schools and colleges to train students to become Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Sudras, Brahmacharis, Grihasthas, Vanaprasthas, and Sannyasis. This will provide the preliminary conditions for good citizenship, Varnashrama Gunanvitaha. Generally speaking, if the king or president is a Rajarishi, the relationship between the citizens and the chief executive will be clear. and there will be no possibility of disruption in the state because the number of thieves and rogues will decrease. In Kali Yuga, however, because the Varnashrama system is neglected, people are generally thieves and rogues. In the system of democracy, such thieves and rogues naturally collect money from other thieves and rogues, and thus there is chaos in every government, and no one is happy. But here the example of good government is to be found in the reign of Lord Ramachandra. If people follow this example, there will be good government all over the world.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासुदेव गौर। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम राम। So this is ninth canto. Prabhupada was, I think, about to, he was not keeping well maybe by this time, and is somewhere in the middle of ninth canto. And when I was going through this, so I read Bhagavatam with our Samarpan Goprabhu. So when we were reading, there was very illuminating purports of Srila Prabhupada in ninth canto. And Prabhupada is very clearly, not just this, but next also few Prabhupada is very clearly giving his vision for devotees, his vision for the society. And it is very clearly mentioned over here that it is not Varnashram or devotion. It is Varnashram leading to devotion. It is mentioned over here, right? The purpose of Varnashram is to enable people to become God conscious. The entire Varnashram scheme is intended to enable people to become Vaishnavas. Why? Because Varnashram training makes one good citizen, a good human being. Goodness comes. While being good is not the goal, but being good is also important to accept the goal, to nourish the goal. Just like heart is like a field compared to as field by acharyas, if we want to nourish devotional life. Otherwise it is like desert only. So we say Bhakti Lata Beej is given. Bhakti Lata Beej is given in the heart. But if the heart is like desert, it is not having good qualities, then how will the seed nourish? We need to have good qualities also. So what Varnashram is going to do is, it will preserve goodness in us. It will increase goodness in us. Varnashram is like our friend, not an enemy, not something which another, just like sometimes some kids, they are very this thing, that I don't want to study, why this syllabus, why this courses, why this school. But so it's very painful to start off, but by the end they understand that it was helpful. I mean, of course, it is not helpful, generally speaking. Education is becoming another this thing only, liability. Yesterday I was talking to one devotee and they were saying that he is going to become the HR head for Berger Paints. He is like next level. He's in Calcutta. Keeps talking. So I was telling that even the IIM Lucknow CVs are coming to us. They are not having jobs. So this is what the education system does to us. It makes us handicapped, more and more handicapped. Yesterday, I think in my alumni group, it was there like some NIT and IIFT, IIM. CVs are just roaming around. But actually, training is supposed to make one independent. Training is not supposed to make one dependent. That's what actual Varnashram training should do. It should make us independent, means we have confidence. What is my value? Okay. So that's what Prabhupada is. It's very important, because if we don't have this basic field, then it is it is very difficult. Uh, Generally, in our devotional life, the problem is not that no how we are chanting, hearing, or some philosophical doubt. Problem is to generally some other problems only comes in our devotional life, right? Temptations are coming. This is happening. That is happening. Not related to, not able to understand this rasa tattva. Not able to get deeper into it. That is generally not the problem. Generally, the problem is something else only. Why? Because the field is not ready. Even if you read the purport of Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glane Bhavati Bharata, Prabhupada purport, Prabhupada is talking dharma in two senses. One is evolving of Varnashram Dharma, and then the other is soul Dharma. Both these things he talks. Even Baldev Vidyabhushan talks like that. Acharyas are talking like that. So why? Because while it is a bodily dharma, but that is important for us to, but we are identifying ourselves with the body. That's why bodily dharma. There are three types of devotees. One is called Swanishtha, the other is called Parinishtha, and then the third category is called Nirapeksha. These three are counted as devotees. Swanishtha means they have very much faith in the overall system of, Varna, Ashram, and have very good faith. Faith is there, on the authority of Lord, system, and all. But they are not necessarily practicing the limbs of bhakti. That's called Swanishtha. Parinishtha is those who are actually, practicing the limbs of bhakti and also practicing the orders of Varna and Ashram. And then there's Nirapeksha. Nirapeksha means Nirapeksha. They are beyond, the bodily designations, and they are just absorbed in devotional life. That's a very high level. Okay. So devotees who feel no, Varnashram is not for us, then they should validate whether they are Nirapeksha devotees or not. If you are Nirapeksha, yes, fine. But then Nirapeksha has some other symptoms also. If they start chanting, they can't remove themselves from chanting activity. Somebody kicks them, then also they are okay. Somebody praises them, then also they are okay, unaffected. And like that, fine. Then Nirapeksha, then no Varnashram applied. Generally, everybody falls into Parinishtha. Yes, one doesn't stop at Varnashram. Varnashram is a means, but Varnashram is non-negotiable means. You can't negotiate. Oh, I'll be a good devotee, but maybe no, I'll just skip Varnashram. Is that okay? Makes sense. Chalega kya? It's not a deal happening. It is non-negotiable, but we don't stop there because even animals are taking care of their families. So we don't stop there. We want to do bhakti. Okay. Why? Because Varnashram gives qualities. If you see even 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, divine and demoniac natures. So Prabhupada, when the first change is divine nature, Daiva Sampat. So Daiva Sampat, all the qualities, what they are talking is this only, in accordance with Varnashram. Prabhupada is talking like that. Like Brahmana, these are the chief guns. No, Brahmachari, this is chief gun. Grahastha, this, Kshatriya, this is a gun. So it's very important, and Prabhupada is clearly highlighting this point. There is chaos because of this reason. So there are two problems. One is that we don't accept it. The other is that we accept it so much that we forget bhakti. We don't recognize the goal of life is to actually go back to Godhead. Actually, the heart becomes absolutely just like going back to the same example, desert. Now you have converted desert into a good field. All you are trained, regulated mode of goodness, everything is there. No tolerance is there, respect is there, obedience is there. But there is no bhakti lata beach. So then what will happen in that heart? Nothing will happen. Even if some water comes, but there is no intention to please Krishna, intention to grow in devotional life, then it is nothing. It's a nice field, good to see, but it is not going to bear fruits. Our goal is to have, the fruit of love of Godhead. That's our goal. And that seed, so basically these two things are needed. That's why it is told that no, uh, the entire Varnashram scheme is intended to enable people to become Vaishnavas. Enablement. It is enabling. Just like mobile is enabling you to talk. Talking is in itself separate. Okay. But mobile is just an enabler. Okay. So Varnashram is an enabler, but it is an enabler. We can't neglect it. Can't neglect it. Otherwise, we are neglecting the instruction of Krishna only. Varnashrama charvata purushena parapuman Vishnu aradhyate. Neglecting it. Because actually, if you go to again Bhagavad Gita, divine and demoniac nature, Asurik pravritti is this only, to neglect the system of God. That is actually Asurik pravritti. Asurik sampat. There was Daiva sampat. Asurik. You know how those divine and demoniac qualities come? Huh? No, technically, in terms of Bhagavad Gita, tell where, why, how it is coming. You all have read Bhagavad Gita? Huh? No, why it comes in 16th chapter? What is there in 15th chapter? Tell me. Purushottam Yoga. What is described in Purushottam Yoga? A tree, a tree. Ashwatham, Prahuravyayam. And what is described in the Ashwathar Prahuravyayam? Is it like the reflection is here. The roots are upward. The secondary roots of this Ashwatham is the actions which we do in this world, which bear two things: desirable impressions and undesirable impressions. Those are this Daiva and Asurik Sampat. That's why it is connected like this. Because you have to cut the tree, no? So Daiva Sampat is actually auspicious impressions which one gets after doing certain actions. And Asurik Sampat is the impressions which one gets after doing inappropriate actions. So we should not preserve Asurik Sampat. It is unfortunately done because of some bad actions. We should resist when the inauspicious impressions come in our heart and move in accordance with scriptures. This is what scriptures is saying. Asuric impression. Not to take one's responsibility or not to behave according to one's situation is an Asuric impression. Should study deeper our heart. That's why it comes in 16th chapter. Because you have to destroy the tree, Baba, with knowledge, sword of knowledge, cut it. So this is a system of God. This is a system of God. We need not create another system. No, I'll chant very nicely. It will take care of this. Sometimes this thought comes. But chanting is supposed to give us love of God. It definitely manages, cleanses our heart, no doubt about it. But it is not just for that purpose. It is meant to give us love of God. But if we use chanting only as a broomstick to just like this, no, you have a boss, okay, and you have a very nice boss, and you have a very good relation with him. But you just keep and you just keep taking advantage of that. No, today I'll take a leave. Today I'll just send him because he has good relation with me. I'll just take a leave. Just put a message. Today my stomach is not well. Tomorrow my feet is not. He'll accept. good boss. Hmm. But eventually that relationship is not flourishing the way it can. Similarly, relationship with holy name is like very, is supposed to go to a different level. It is not supposed to be where it is. Hmm. Okay, so we do our part, and that naturally takes care of many of these, bad qualities which are troubling us. Then two things will happen. A, we'll be focused in our sadhana, will not be disturbed, and we'll do sadhana with a proper goal in mind. Prayojan. Why we came over here? Why at all we came to Krishna consciousness? Self-realization, all that. Why did we come? Came for that. Ultimately, love of Godhead. In order to quickly achieve the desired success. That is what we are. Quickly achieve the desired success. That's why we are here. We are not here to get stuck. But that's what happens. When we come, we are very good. But as time passes by, we are stuck. Because somewhere we are not removing the anchor of our, no, this is the way I want to live. That's right. Flow with the system of Krishna. What is the problem? What is the problem? Accept the training. Training means there will be pain, pinch. Ah, you will have to do something which you don't like to do. But that is what the purification is all about. What we like to do is our eternal problem. That's why we are here. Attractions and aversions to this material world. We'll not be able to go back to Godhead unless we are relieved from the attractions to this world. Not only attractions, even aversions. I dislike something of this world. Then also we are stuck here because it is nothing but the other side of the coin. We want to transcend the attraction and aversion, liking, disliking, friends, enemies. Back to Godhead. Till when I can go? Started late also. No? 8, 8:15. So 8 o'clock we can have interaction, question answers. So when I was getting married, so this I got a very nice dowry. Association of His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj, because my wife was from Belgaum. So she has been like, the family was connected to Maharaj since she was like in her 10th standard. Yeah. So she was like a daughter. I told, wow, wonderful. I've got Maharaj. So then, when I got married, I had this pattern. I will not go for kids. No kids. Only preaching. Only preaching I'll do. And I used to preach like 4 or 5 days in a week. Dhada dhad, dhada dhad. My marriage is only to, because it's very easy for people to relate to me when I'm married and all this. Yeah, all that. Very Krishna conscious, apparently. Very Krishna conscious. Looks like, no, very Krishna conscious. Wow, Prabhuji, no kid. Sense controlled. But not sense control. It's wrong. Then Maharaj, I told Maharaj, I want to be sannyas grahastha. Oh, wonderful. Sannyas grahastha. Sannyas grahastha means one who has a relationship with the wife only for procreation of child. Very good. I'm very happy. Huh? No, Maharaj, I don't want kids. No, why? That is what sannyas grahastha. And then he explained me over 3, 4, 5 meetings. what was looking as very Krishna conscious to me. And then finally, in the last meeting, I told him that no, I leave my bow of opinion and I'll follow whatever you say. Just take me back to Godhead. And then I actually went with the flow. So slowly I understood basically it's very important. Let us not, these are our duties. This is my duty. I should not depart from my duty. Duty is very beautiful. Beauty of duty. It will purify us to the level we can't even imagine. Because holy name and deities, they are very merciful. But sometimes duty, no, it will go into the core of our heart. And uh, but actually, I realized that gives realization. That leads to realization. I was actually wrong. So, so we should not, create our own, you know, dharma system. Dharma is already created. Dharma tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. It's already created. We don't have to invent new dharma. What is Let's do our duties according to our situation we choose. It's not that everybody will become grahastha. Somebody will become brahmachari, but then guna of brahmachari. Somebody will become grahastha, then the duty of grahastha has to be done. Has to be done. Because duty, when we do, it will clear us. We don't like. That's why so responsibility, so much of headache. Oh, I can't do so much. But when we start doing it, Krishna empowers us because dharmo rakshati, rakshata. Krishna will protect. He'll give. He'll give strength too. He'll give strength. We problem is we are taking too much on ourselves. Oh, I'll only do everything. But Krishna also blesses. When we go that path, then Krishna will also open up, you know, opportunities, things, everything. Because we are trying in our heart, no, this is what, let me do it. Dhanmo rakshati, rakshataha. We are doing our duties. But if we think, no, 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 there is so much of trouble in doing so, so then that is mode of ignorance. So that is Krishna describes no renunciation and mode of ignorance. One may have renunciation. This is renunciation basically. This renunciation is more like it's not that talking of ashram. It's about even in brahmachari ashram one may have renunciation. Even in grahastha ashram one may have renunciation in mode of ignorance. Basically, it means I am taking. Even a child may have renunciation in mode of ignorance. I don't want to study. It's not about the ashram per se. It's about the quality of thinking. As soon as I see trouble, I don't want to do it. Worse off, I justify it philosophically. अंदर तक मेरे को पता है कि मैं क्यों नहीं कर रहा हूँ, बट बाहर से मैं जस्टिफाई करता हूँ उसको. जैसे मीट ईटिंग के लिए लोग जस्टिफाई करते हैं ना, इसमें प्रोटीन बहुत होता है, इसमें ये बहुत होता है. एक बार में मेरा एक मुसलमान जो मेरा टीममेट था, उन्होंने कहा तो क्यों खाता है भाई? कहते बेचारे कितनी बुरा जीवन है इन जानवरों का, कितना कितना इनके जीवन में कितना दुख है, मार के खा लो, उनको दुख खत्म हो जाता है. उनको अच्छा. मैंने कहा तू टीसीएस में है, तू कल को तेरी निकाल दिया, ले ऑफ हो गया, कहीं नौकरी नहीं लग रही तेरी 3 महीने, बहुत दुखी, आके खा ले तेरे को. बहुत दुखी. नहीं नहीं नहीं. मैंने कहा तो ये तो मान ले कम से कम कि मजा आता है, स्वाद आता है इसलिए खाता है, ये मान लो कम से कम, इतना तो मान लो. तो समटाइम्स वी जस्टिफाई थिंग्स फिलोसफिकली दैट वी शुड नॉट डू. This will provide the preliminary condition for good citizenship. So that's how it is. Any questions now?
They're not. In this material world,
He is a Parikshit Maharaj of your time.
like.
Huh? Second song on GoPro.
In this like material world, to become successful, like I'm also into digital marketing and all. There are so many digital marketers. In order to compete and then provide I have to show that I am the best service provider for the client. For that, I saw normal courses and all doesn't work. So I had one person.
You still have question on digital marketing. Huh? Okay.
No, not that question.
Yeah. Then
So I have to take training from someone. Like he closes a very high ticket client.
obviously.
So he's genius at his field. He earns in billion. He earns in billions and all because of his sales techniques and all. But he uses slang words and all because America they are not that much into this art culture and all. So for them it's natural.
Hmm.
So because of that, I'm feeling that some anarthas are going into me because I'm hearing this. At the same time, it's my requirement right now because if I don't have that kind of what do you call sales pitches and all and this talent, then people won't accept my services. How to use it?
So that if you plan to earn money, not today he is using slang, tomorrow we go out, they will use slang, you will see so many things. You can't, you have to prepare yourself. You should have a mindset. My mindset of going there is to learn this technique nicely and like what they are doing in their personal life, how they live, that is different from my life. Intimate association is to be avoided, but you have to learn. There will be so many people who will come, who will have so many things. Like you are doing this, I am taking clients for lunch, clients for dinner. So my man says, I do do that. It doesn't mean no, that oh, they are ordering Mughlai chicken and all those things. So and साथ में दारू and all. So that's fine. That's their job. Focus on what I have to do. Get from there. So you should have a mindset of what you are there for. Be focused on the purpose. Initially, yes, you may be when we are too much like this, na, then it becomes like anything happens and we are too this. Just be normal. You have to earn money, right? Do this.
Does that affect your consciousness, chanting and all? Like, when
Yeah,
you're-
that will happen. There is nothing in this work Bhagavad Gita says which is without smoke. Brahmana work is also having smoke. They have to cut animals, for sacrifice. Kshatriya also smoke. They have to hunt and kill. There will always be problem. You have to control. There is nothing which will come automatically in life. Automatically, I'll be Krishna conscious. I'll do this just because I want to be. No. Even if it is affecting consciousness, you should understand that no, I should have a control. Oh, it is going too much in my head. So what should I do? And then we have to discuss in that. But there is nothing in this world which is without smoke. No work in this material world can be like that. Every work is going to have something or the other. So that you go in spiritual world, then there is no smoke at all. As far as we are in this material world, they'll be there. So we should know how much the smoke should not enter our eyes, and this thing. It should be there, and better keep working. Don't aspire for pure environment outside. Don't even aspire for it. It will be. You aspire why you are going there. I am going there to earn money, and why earn money? Once Janani Mahaprabhu asked, like not told that he was having this conversation. I asked him that that how can I see my work as Krishna conscious, work as pure devotion? How do I? So he told, you are going there earning money. Why? To maintain the Vaishnav household. I mean, as long as you are not, but then you are maintaining your Krishna consciousness. Later on, it is to do with the household. That's why you are earning money. Right?
Thank you.
Like I'm working in IT, so sometimes it happens like
I do go to my office 2 days in a week. So I met many colleagues, and I used to, like you said, don't be so intimate with them. I tend to just like a friend.
Yes, very good.
So, but it hampers my consciousness. So I was thinking that I can change my job profession to something like uh, teaching some technologies, because being a technical person.
Now,
So
give a specific example what interaction happens and how it changes your consciousness.
nothing like we used to play a foosball game. So I tend to play a lot, 1 hour, 2 hour, and
It's a mobile game?
no, no, it's a
Acha, oh, that
physical game. Yeah, something, it hampers my consciousness. I
okay. So
tend
then you get too much into it.
too much, and it's like my old days have come.
Okay. And how much they play? Same.
Same time.
ज्यादा काम नहीं ऑफिस में लगता है.
इसमें क्या है, 2 दिन.
Well, I think I don't think so. That's a solution. What you're thinking, because again, it's a problem of control. You have to exercise control. Uh, I think one of no all these things it is fine. No, you are they're playing like no. When I used to go to long time back on like no, this office, and then there used to be TT and also 1 2 short like no, 1 2 games I used to play. But then no, it's not that whole day you are with them only whole day. So there has to be a good, friendly, workable relationship with everyone. And then there is obviously we can't, So the important is that no, we know where is a limit. It's very important to practice limit control. So don't run away from the situation just because you are not able to manage limit control. Why? How you can do it? Why it is not happening? So that has to be discussed. Because even if you go for teaching and technologies, you can't. I mean, it's like this. No, I have problem in my knee, and no, I just change the foot only completely. It doesn't work. Because I don't think so. You are in a very, I mean, in a brewery company or something like that. No, it's very difficult to manage, and no, people are watching porn and the whole thing, or a Dream 11, no poker, gaming, and all. Oh no, nothing like that. You are in a simple IT company. No, people are also like no who are coming. They are not playing something. No, this game is there. अब उसमें भी अगर प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है हमारे को तो या तो वी आर लाइक हमने अपना बहुत कुछ दबा के रखा हुआ था बहुत समय से अभी थोड़ा मिल रहा है तो आउटलेट सो वी हैव टू डू दैट एनालिसिस व्हाई इट इज हैपनिंग recently I met one very senior Mataji and all. I think she was some this thing. She had some issues in her life. And she was like, no, very pakka and all those things. But now she is like, no, she met one devotee doctor only, and that no, she kind of had some challenge in her life also. And then it's like, no, sometimes when we practice Krishna consciousness, you are practicing in so much pressure of I mean, point is that no, we have to practice Krishna consciousness happily, the limbs of bhakti. We don't have to practice limbs of bhakti in a pressure. It has to be done happily. And we should be open. This is what my inclinations are in my life. Share it. Okay. It is anyways not going to work for a long time. That no. So point is that no control is aspired. Okay. We have to control these things. When sometimes it is okay, but then it is becoming like we are just too much into it. So we have to think, no, it is getting too much. It is impacting my balance. Okay, so let me come back on this. But even after that, if it is like no, I want to do it, maybe no, there is something हम दबा के बैठे हुए हैं तो उसको अब यहाँ पे एवेन्यू मिल रहा है तो क्यों मैं ऐसा दबा के क्यों कर रहा हूँ सब कुछ why I'm practicing Krishna consciousness in that way हर चीज दबा चलेगा नहीं लंबा any which ways whether you keep changing situations so there are three things then there we have to discuss and further go deeper. I mean, maybe more on a personal basis. But then first is practicing Krishna consciousness with an open heart. Of course, we have to always have that, you know, regulation and all those things. But by and large, the limbs of bhakti have to be practiced in a very happy state of heart, happy state of mind. The second is, when you're doing this, the solution is not keep changing situations. Solution is actually to practice the limit control. Okay, where it is getting too much into, and sometimes it will be way too much sometimes. So if that is a need, you like playing it. So, and it's not that you're doing something, no, just recreation as a recreation. You do it like for 15-20 minutes and come back. Problem is we think it is wrong, bad, so much aversion. Then when we do it, then we get guilty also. Then we end up doing also a lot, because aversion is another form of attraction only. So when we think, okay, fine, moderation, do it and move on. When we take things so much like this, no, then we end up doing it all the more in a very great quantity. That is what also happens. So that is the second point. And then third point is that, no, introspecting, our heart, and trying to see that, no, मैं क्या दबा रहा हूँ, मैं और क्या दबा रहा हूँ. So that we have to see and know, work it out. Whether it is really like somebody yesterday, he was asking question that, uh, temptations come. Now temptations there may be certain temptations are need. Temptation may be a want. How do you say temptation is wrong or right? You have to basically justify, validate what is what. So something which is not allowed, it is not allowed. Something which is fine, then we need to deal with it, manage with it in such a way that, no, it is done in moderation, but not with such a, means everything has to be given due importance, unimportance, or whatever distance according to actually what that thing is. Not that we, create some bubble in our mind. So I don't think so. You should change the situation, because again there'll be something which will come. You should learn to deal with it. Okay, like I'm fond of chess, let's say, or this. So sometimes I play with myself. Not that, like, no, but it may so happen that somebody, like, no, बहुत समय से दबा के रखा है चेस, वो पूरी रात चेस की गेम में ही लगा रहा है, कंप्यूटर पे खेल रहे हैं, चेस 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 खेले आ रहा है, खेले आ रहा है. और ऐसा देखा है मैंने ना, डिवोटीज का होता है. तो देन दे रियलाइज कि भैया क्या कर रहे हो, ज्यादा हो रहा है, कम करो, खत्म करो, कम करते हो, मतलब कंट्रोल में करो जो भी करना. तो कंट्रोल में इंपॉर्टेंट है. दिस कंट्रोल इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू प्रैक्टिस. लाइक आई टोल्ड हिम, this impacts consciousness means, doesn't mean you leave it. Doesn't mean, unless you are into a very bad association where you are learning something really which is breaking the principles completely. Here it is more about, just know what is your limit. That is it. अब वो क्यों नहीं कर पा रहे हम, वो थोड़ा डिस्कस करना होगा one on one. I mean, I need to ask some questions to you, and then you need to respond, and I'll understand why you are not able. Yeah.
And sometimes I tried to read Prabhupada's book. Like yesterday, I was alone because I want to just don't associate with them. So yesterday I went alone to office. Like 2 days I have to go, Thursday, Friday. So I tend to go.
Tomorrow you will have 5 days a week office also. Then what you will do? You should have a routine of a day. Okay. First of all, you should have a routine that, no, even if your work is not there that much, then you pick up a skill training or something like that. No, you pick up that, no, I'll focus on 2 hours on that. You're getting my point, no? So one option is also to have a routine in a day and stick to that routine. In that routine, you keep some free time also. That is fine. In that, you do whatever you have. But when we don't have what I have to do next, then I'll just take Prabhupada books today, and then I don't get taste in Prabhupada books also. Then tomorrow I'll go into this and then play 2 hours. That will happen. So rather than that, better is to have a routine. Have a schedule of a day. Stick to that schedule. And schedule also, I'll say it should not be like exactly time out, but rhythm, second half I'm going to do this. I'm going to focus on skill training. First half I'm going to focus on this issues and also. Not exactly I'm saying 9 5 to this. It's more like a rhythm of the day. In the different portions of the day, what you plan to do. Because slowly what happens is even this, I don't know, but 9 p.m., 9 a.m., it also kind of becomes sometimes too much, tend to become. So make it more like a rhythm of the day. How you wake up and then you start, and then when you go to office, there's a rhythm of what you're doing. Then stick to that rhythm. Maybe focus on, if there is not much work in office, then why don't you focus on something which is to do with your skill development? Because every time you can't keep turning to Prabhupada books also. So have a routine that every day I'm reading 35, 40, 45 minutes Prabhupada books. That's it. But then that time only, yeah, no. Generally, if there is nothing, then it is a different story. But it should not be like, no, okay, today now what to do? Proper books. यार वो खेल रहे हैं, मंडे ये हो रहा है, ट्यूसडे वो हो रहा है, थर्सडे वो नहीं होना चाहिए. Do you have a schedule when you go to office? What you want to focus on?
Like you said, like skill development will be a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't have this now. Right
So you
now.
can focus on that. Basically, when you give free time now, see, recreation is a need, okay? And I feel that healthy recreation, like doing yoga or something like that, is better than actually eventually getting into unhealthy way of recreating oneself. So I think recreation is not a problem, or even some of this one off, it's fine actually, not a problem. Problem is we don't have a schedule for that. We don't have a goal in a day. We don't have daily goals. I'll tell you that is a bigger problem. Daily goals ही नहीं है मेरे क्या है, देखो ये करना है. और worse off when your profession is not giving you that much challenge, then it becomes even more difficult. So then create one milestone for yourself that you want to focus on this, build this, right? Go ahead. Makes sense?
Yeah.
Anything else? Okay. 8:15. Wow. Bang on time. At least we ended on time, if not started. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.